Hello, welcome. I'm Kristine Weber. I love to help mature yoga teachers let their wisdom shine. Welcome to my weekly live stream. So I'm trying to be a little more consistent. I've been a little inconsistent in the past and doing these live streams at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays. So please join me here every Wednesday at 11 for yoga tips, musings about yoga, and all things subtle. All things subtle yoga. So today I am talking about, and I'm going to show you a tip for how you can use yoga to make your back stronger. Um, one of the things I want to mention is that many people, and let me just turn on, I just realized I didn't turn on my headset. So let me make sure I get that right because I'm going to be stepping away from the camera in a moment. So many people think that, when you're doing yoga, that you have to work super hard. Let me hang on a second. I'm getting this right. There we go. That you have to work super hard, and there's nothing wrong with working hard. The issue, however, is a lot of people can't work hard for various reasons. And we know that 8 out of 10 people are going to have low back pain at some point in their life. And if you've ever had low back pain, you know what I mean. It's like you can barely walk a lot of times, let alone think you're going to go do this strong gym exercise. So what yeah, and by the way, when you're in really those acute stages of pain in the low back, you need to go see a healthcare professional. You need to talk to a physical therapist. Don't just think you're going to fix it with yoga. Like, talk to somebody so you really know what's going on in your back, because there may be certain movements that a yoga teacher will say, hey, this is good for making your back strong, and you go to the physical therapist and they're like, and they take x-rays or do an MRI or whatever, and they see that there are these structural things, and doing and doing a back bend, for not back bend, but extension of the spine might be the wrong thing for you, right? So when you're in that acute phase of back pain, make sure that you're getting proper medical treatment. Okay, all that being said, most of us need to strengthen our back. And so next week, I'm going to be doing a 5-day subtle yoga for a stronger back, 5-day home practice challenge. I would love you to join me. It's at 6 p.m. It'll be wherever you watch me, YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook groups. You can be on any of them. I will be here doing 20 to 30-minute practices for a stronger back, and each day has a different theme. So that all that being said, like, yoga practice is so phenomenal, but it can be so wonderful because it can be accessible for people who are trying to build a strong back. If you just go to a random yoga class, often you will be doing things that will injure your back. So just be very careful about that. Of like a fitness yoga class at the gym or whatever. Many yoga teachers haven't been trained in yoga therapy and don't necessarily know the things that can help your back. And some of the stuff in yoga, can make your back worse. So you do want to be really careful about that. Okay, so here's some tips for today. I wanted to show you one place to focus on that might be helpful, for you if you're trying to strengthen your back. And at the risk of, and I'm sorry, I can't see my screen, so let me look here to make sure you can see me. At the risk of being a little risque here, that place is right here in your butt crease. The butt crease is a great place to focus on. Why? Because for many people, that attachment between that area between the glutes and the hamstrings is a place that's a little vulnerable. It also may not be integrated neuromuscularly, meaning you don't necessarily have a good sense of all that stuff working together so well. And it may be a place that could use a lot more strengthening and you haven't focused on it. Additionally, if you've been given cues in yoga classes that say, like in bridge pose, lift your hips, but don't use your glutes. Like, I've heard that so many times. That kind of a cue detracts from the strengthening of the back, because it's the strength of our legs and our glute muscles that are incredibly supportive to the back muscles. So we want to have strong glutes. That's why squats are so popular. Well, squats are popular because they do everything for your legs. They like work all your leg muscles, but the squats are great. Chair pose, right? Chair pose is our squat. But there are more targeted ways. So I'm going to show you 3 right now that you can get into. The first one is your everyday, ordinary warrior pose. So I got my right foot forward and my left foot back. And if you do it with me, right away, it's like, oh yeah, I've got muscles there, right? So in the warrior pose, and I like to do in and out a few times because then you feel the muscles working. But in the warrior pose, if you push down into your back heel a little bit, especially the lateral aspect or that outer edge of the back heel, oftentimes that will fire up that glute hamstring area. That's one way you can just bring a little more consciousness, a little more awareness to that part of your body. Now, if you want to get even more targeted, a great place to do that is from tabletop. So I'm going to come down to tabletop now, which means all fours, right? And we have so many different practices that we can do from here. Tabletop is a great position because your spine is free. When you come down here, it's like, oh yeah, my back can move easily and it's not loaded. So whichever foot you want to use, right foot, left foot, doesn't matter. Take that foot up in the air like you're going to step on the ceiling, not out to the side, although that's not bad. That does other things, but more getting into your hip, but not out to the side. And then as you inhale, lift that foot up like you're going to step on the ceiling, and that will often fire up hamstrings and glutes. As you exhale, you can lower it down. If you want to get into the core, then you take on the exhale, drawing the belly in, you take the knee in. So that's another way. But also just inhaling up, exhaling down, maybe not even to the floor, and trying to keep those hips relatively neutral here because that's how you really target into the hamstrings and glute area, and that area right between, again, right right in that spot between the glutes and the hamstring. For many people also, I can't tell you how many people I've worked with in the yoga world who have painful attachments of the hamstrings to the ischial tuberosity, to that bone right up there, right? Because of somebody laid on their back in a forward bend, God forbid, but that stuff was going on and it was very common 10, 15 years ago. It's much less now, or they're just overstretched in some kind of a forward bend, usually seated forward bend, but it can happen in standing too. Okay, so I showed you number one, that was the warrior. Number two was from tabletop, and number three is going to be from prone. So coming down on your belly, you can have your hands right next to your ribs and forehead on the floor. And for this one, you lift head, chest, and one leg. And so the focus goes right there. Exhale down. Then you can switch legs if you want. I've been doing too much on my left leg. So, so that's another way. And then just to add another adaptation here, another variation, bend the knee. And it's similar to what we did, inhale up, similar to what we did in the tabletop, or sometimes that's called tiger stretch, right? You can stay here and play with it, pulsing up and down. These in general, what's so useful about slow mindful yoga is it gives us that interoceptive feedback. So we start to notice exactly which muscles we're targeting, and we start to develop better brain maps of the body. And that means in your brain, you have maps all over your brain, sensory motor cortices and anterior cingulate cortices, other places in the brain, we have maps of the body. So you just start to develop better maps. When you have better maps, you have better control over the body, and hence you can strengthen areas that you're trying to strengthen, and as well as so much reduction of the nociceptive input, that the pain signaling that comes up into the brain as we develop greater awareness and greater capacity to control movement. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. I would love you to come to my 5-day challenge next week. We're giving away prizes. It's free classes. If you sign up, you get the stick figures of each class. So it's going to be a fun low back week, and I would love you to join me. Check out the link. Sign up if you want to be eligible for prizes. We're giving away French Broad chocolates. If you're not from Asheville, French Broad chocolate company is amazing. So we're going to French Broad chocolates. We're giving away eye pillows, all sorts of stuff, subtle yoga tea mugs. So please sign up. We'd love you to be there. Have a great week, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday. Take care.